Racing electronics here at the PRI show. Steve Post for Motor Racing Network. It's not a PRI show unless we catch up with Ron Capp. So, hey man, how are you?
I'm good, Steve. You know, we always see each other January, indoor midget racing. I can't wait to see you there, but PRI is, it seems like it's really getting back to where it used to be.
Really, truly is, yeah. And that's Atlantic City. That's the indoor auto racing in Atlantic City. That's a must-see event, the Napa Atlantic City Midget Car Race. Okay, Ron, our journey here, we've been talking seemingly every year. I think we've talked just about every year here at PRI. We talked to you when you were driving for somebody else, and then we brought you in and you said you were going to form your own team. Here we are sitting here now with you now forming a second car to your team. My gosh, Ron Capp's, your program just seems to really be progressing really well.
Yeah, you hear successful team owners talk about good people around them. I've followed, IndyCar, NASCAR, and the Penske's and the Hendricks and just what makes them so successful, and I now know why. I've had the same crew chief and really the leader in our shop, Guido, Dean Antonelli, who worked for John Force forever. Speaking of me working before I became an owner, Don the Snake Perdome as my first owner, almost a decade, who just texted me this morning from back in California where it's a lot warmer. And to have people around me like that I've learned from, but to have the people around me to be able to go to and say, I have a sponsor that's possibly wanting to add a sponsorship if we want to do another car. And I already had a girl in mind I'd been watching, a friend of our families, but I watched her grow up. And so, ironically, the weekend that I told her mom and dad that I wanted to approach her, she was only 20 years old, she won that race, and in doing so became the 100th woman to win in NHRA. So we know Shirley Muldowney started that, right? And there were a lot of women throughout the years that have won in the NHRA in different categories. So for her to be that person, and that's the weekend that I brought it to her mom and dad and asked her, was crazy. So it's a lot of similarities that her and I have, and it's been fun. I can't wait to unload the trailers in Gainesville, Florida in February and just get started.
So Maddie Gordon is your driver, and I read the press release. You announced her a while back. You announced the sponsorship, but I think one of the things that really appealed to you is kind of passing this forward, Ron. NHRA drag racing has been really, really good to you. How important is that for the next generation and the next generation, especially someone who's worked so hard at it to get an opportunity?
I was a crew guy that wanted to be a driver, and I didn't have parents that were wealthy. I mean, my dad was the local guy everybody brought their cars to in this little town that had a drag strip, so I learned to race from him, but we didn't have the opportunity where I could go get a seat in an alcohol dragster or a top fuel dragster, or you look at NASCAR, IndyCar, any sport now, it's the $1 million that these kids bring, and there's hundreds that will never get the shot that are probably more talented than some of them. So the fact that Don Perdome hired me for the reason that I didn't have money, but he thought I'd do a good job in and out of the car, I did want to sort of pay it forward. And not even that, Steve, honestly, I never even thought of anybody else. Like when this came about, I thought of Maddie. I went to our sponsors, I talked to them, and their Carlisle brand was being reinvented, and it just came together, but she was never the person I didn't think about. I know that she can wheel a car, she drives, she welds, she does all that stuff, and I feel like it's fun for me. It's like watching myself the year that Don Perdome hired me all over again. So that's the part that appealed to me.
That is really, really exciting, and yeah, she was. We've had an interview with her. You can check that out on YouTube as well, and it's so fascinating. I always say, like Martin Truex Jr. Bass Pro Shops was maybe the best sponsorship ever because you can see Martin fishing. Sounds like you see Maddie working wrenches on a regular basis as well.
Yeah, I posted a couple videos of her, and one of them, that was a day and a half. It was at 3 million views because she's at the bottom of an engine with the oil pan off, torquing the bottom of an engine, and the next one she's welding these beautiful aluminum pieces. And people, here at PRI, I've had probably 50 people stop me and go, "Oh my God, I watched her video, her welding." Like it's that kind of thing. So the appeal that she's had for other little girls that want to dream big, right, and start out in junior dragsters or any go-karts. We've had so many of these young girls that now know that you can dream that big, and it's possible. And I'm just so proud. I got my own daughter about the same age, and it's fun to watch both of them communicate, and it's going to be a lot of fun watching her on the track next year.
All right, how's Ron Capps, the race car driver, doing? How's the driving going for you?
I forget about all that till you just said that. So yeah, thank God our team is kind of status quo. I just signed an extension on my contract, so Napa Auto Parts is staying with me at least a few more years longer, which is awesome. And we hit the ground running in February to test for the Gator Nationals. NHRA 75th anniversary is coming up the whole season, so we're going to see Garlits and Snake and Muldowney at all these tracks and a lot of cool things. It's cool to be a part of it, and for our team, it's just going to be kind of status quo and just kind of unload it like we did last year and see if we can't go out and win races.
Broke, don't be fixing it, right?
Yeah. First, we got to go to Atlantic City, though, and watch the indoor midgets. I will not wait every year for that.
It is really, really cool. Ron, having a good time, that's for sure. Ron, always a pleasure. Thanks for spending some time with us.
You got it, man.
There we go. NHRA team owner, driver also, Ron Capps joining us here in the RE booth.